stock speculator. But he eventually, as a result of his drinking, he pretty much lost everything. He had become very successful on Wall Street for a while, but eventually became so unreliable and so erratic that no one would hire him. And that's where Ebby Thacher found him. Shortly after Bill Wilson talked to Ebby Thacher, he ended up there, Towns Hospital. You can still go to New York City, and Towns Hospital is still there. He had been there a number of times. He'd been in Skid Row missions. He'd been in other kinds of institutions. He had what we call late-stage alcoholism, so that when he detoxed, he had hallucinations and tremors. And I don't know if he had seizures, but he had really, really grave alcoholism. And it was shortly before his final trip to Towns Hospital that he came across Ebby Thacher. And Ebby encouraged him to seek out some kind of a spiritual relationship. Well, the spiritual relationship sort of sought Bill out instead. Bill ended up strapped down, 4-point restraints at Towns Hospital. And we don't really know that much about what the treatment of choice was at the time, but we know that they commonly used belladonna, and so we have no idea what state Bill was in at the time. But sometime during the night, one of his nights of detox, Bill Wilson had what he called a white light experience. He wrote about it, and he described that his hospital room filled up with light. He felt a peace come upon him and apparently slept soundly. And he described it as this sort of seminal event in his life. It was November of 1934. This guy, William Silkworth, Silky, was the attending physician at Towns Hospital for treating these alcoholics. And he came in the next morning, and Bill Wilson excitedly told him about this experience that he had. And Silkworth sort of nodded knowingly and said, okay. Right? Now it's funny, if it had happened today, I'm sure they would have medicated him pretty aggressively. But Silkworth was a pretty smart guy. And Silkworth said something along the lines of, it's better than what you had. If you had some experience that was